My girlfriend demanded an open relationship, so she could explore. I explored too. Her best friend. Now she's screaming about boundaries. All right, Reddit, this happened last year, and I'm still getting messages from mutual friends telling me I'm the villain of this story. So let me lay out exactly what went down, and you can decide for yourself who's actually out of line here. I'm 29, work in logistics for a shipping company, nothing glamorous, but it pays well enough that I own my condo outright and drive a truck that's actually mine. Been with my girlfriend Kayla for almost 3 years. Met her at a friend's wedding where she was a bridesmaid, and I was groomsman number 3. She was fun, smart, worked as a dental hygienist, and seemed like she had her life together. The relationship was solid for the first 2 years. We'd do normal couple stuff like weekend trips to the lake, dinner at her parents' place, game nights with friends. She had this tight friend group from college, and I got along with most of them. Her best friend Lindsay was cool, probably the most down-to-earth one of the bunch. The rest were the typical oversharing Instagram types who turned every brunch into a photo shoot. Kayla moved into my place about 18 months into the relationship. Made sense financially, and things were going well. She kept her space organized, actually cleaned without being asked, and didn't turn my place into some Pinterest explosion of throw pillows and inspirational wall art. We split bills fairly, and had separate bank accounts because I'm not an idiot. Life was comfortable. Not movie romantic or anything, but solid, which apparently was the problem. The conversation that changed everything. It's a random Tuesday night in March, and we're on the couch watching some show about mountain climbers when she hits pause and gives me that look. You know the one. The we need to have a serious talk face that means someone's about to drop a bomb. Can we talk about something important? I mute the TV. Sure, what's up? She takes this deep breath like she's about to confess to murder. I've been thinking about our relationship a lot lately, about where we're headed and what I want out of life. Red flags everywhere, but I stay calm. Okay, I love you. I really do. But I feel like we've fallen into this routine that's so safe and predictable. We're basically acting like we're 50 years old and married with kids when we're still in our 20s. We're almost 30, not 20. And I thought you liked stability. I did, but she's fidgeting with the blanket now. I've only been with 3 guys my entire life, Jake. 3. And I met you when I was 26, so basically my entire adult life has been spent in serious relationships. I never got to explore or figure out what I actually want. I can see where this is headed, but I let her keep talking. My friends have been telling me that I need to experience more before settling down for good, that I'm going to regret not exploring while I'm still young and attractive. And honestly, they might be right. What exactly are you suggesting here, Kayla? She sits up straighter, like she's rehearsed this part. I think we should open up the relationship, just temporarily. Give ourselves permission to explore other connections while maintaining what we have as our foundation. It would be healthy for both of us. I just stare at her for a solid 10 seconds. You want to sleep with other people. I want us to have the freedom to explore ourselves as individuals while still being together as a couple. Lots of people do this, and it actually strengthens their relationship because they're choosing each other every day instead of just being together out of habit. Sounds like you've been reading some interesting articles. Don't be dismissive. I'm being serious and vulnerable here. You're right, I apologize. Let me make sure I understand correctly. You want to maintain our relationship and keep living in my condo while also sleeping with other guys. Did I get that right? Her face flushes. It's not just about sleeping around. It's about personal growth and exploring connections. And it would be open for both of us, obviously. You could see other people too. How generous. Jake, please don't be like this. I'm trying to have an adult conversation about our needs. Here's the thing. I could have gotten mad. Could have kicked her out right then. Could have told her exactly what I thought about her friends putting nonsense in her head. But something in me just went cold and calculating instead. How long have you been thinking about this? A few weeks, maybe a month. And is there someone specific you're interested in? She hesitates just long enough to tell me everything I need to know. There's a guy at the dental office, Dr. Patterson. He's been flirting with me, and it made me realize that I still have options, you know? That other people find me attractive and interesting. So, you want to sleep with your boss? He's not my boss. He's one of the dentists. And I'm not saying I want to sleep with him specifically. I'm saying that realizing other people are interested made me think about what I might be missing. I lean back and cross my arms. Let me think about it. She lights up like I just agreed to buy her a car. Really? You're actually considering it? I said I'll think about it. This is a big decision, and I need time to process. Of course. Take all the time you need. I really think this could be amazing for us. She's already pulling up articles on her phone. There's this whole community of people in ethical non-monogamy who have incredibly strong relationships because of the communication and trust involved. I go to bed that night knowing exactly what I'm going to do. If she wants to explore, we'll explore. But we're going to play by my rules. Not whatever fantasy she's built up in her head based on her friend's advice and some articles written by people trying to justify their own choices. Setting the ground rules. The next day, I tell her I'm open to trying it under certain conditions. Her face practically glows with excitement. Really? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're willing to work with me on this. Let's establish some clear boundaries first. Absolutely, communication is so important in these situations. I grab a notepad because I want this documented. Rule 1. We're both free to see other people, but we maintain complete honesty. No sneaking around, no lies about where we are or who we're with. Totally agree. Rule 2. We both get tested regularly. Safety first. Obviously. Rule 3. No bringing anyone back to this condo. That's our space. She nods eagerly. Makes sense. Rule 4. Either of us can call it off at any time, no questions asked. If one person wants to close the relationship back up, we do it immediately. That's fair. And finally, Rule 5. If this tanks our relationship, you move out within 30 days. This is my place and I'm not going to be uncomfortable in my own home. She hesitates on that one. That seems harsh. It's realistic. If we open this up and it destroys what we have, I'm not going to pretend everything's fine while you look for an apartment. We're adults. If it doesn't work, we handle it like adults. Okay, I agree to all of that. I hand her the notepad. Sign it. You want me to sign a contract about our open relationship? I want us both to acknowledge that we discussed these terms and agreed to them. Humor me. She signs it, and I do too. Date it, take a picture of it, send it to my email. She thinks I'm being overly cautious. I'm just covering my bases for what comes next. So, when do you want to start? She asks, practically bouncing with excitement. Immediately. We're both free to do whatever we want starting right now. That catches her off guard. Oh, I wasn't planning to rush into anything tonight. Neither was I. But the door's open for both of us now. She spends the rest of the week texting constantly and being super secretive with her phone. Goes out Thursday night for drinks with the girls and comes home at 2 a.m. Friday, she's got dinner plans with an old friend from college. I don't ask for details, and she doesn't offer any. Meanwhile, I'm watching this whole thing unfold with the emotional investment of someone watching a nature documentary. She thinks she's being sneaky, but she's about as subtle as a car alarm. Saturday afternoon, she's getting ready to go out again when Lindsay shows up at our place. Kayla's in the shower and Lindsay's in the kitchen making herself coffee when I walk in. Hey, Jake, how's it going? Can't complain. You? Good, good. She's watching me like she's trying to figure out if I'm about to explode. So Kayla mentioned you guys are trying something new with the relationship. She told you about that, huh? Yeah. I have to say, I'm impressed you're being so mature about it. A lot of guys would have freaked out. I pour myself coffee. I figure if she wants to explore, we should both explore. Only fair. Something flickers across her face. That's a healthy perspective. What do you think about all this? She pauses mid-sip. Honestly, I think she's making a huge mistake. You guys have something good, and she's gambling it away because Madison and Claire convinced her the grass is greener. But she's my best friend, so I'm supporting her even though I think she's being dumb. Appreciate the honesty. For what it's worth, I told her she's going to regret this. You're one of the good ones, Jake. Guys like you don't grow on trees. Kayla comes out of the shower in her robe. Oh, hey, you're here already. Give me 10 minutes to get ready. After they leave for whatever brunch spot is trendy this week, I sit there thinking about Lindsay. She's always been the straight shooter in Kayla's friend group. While the others are posting thirst traps and humble brags, Lindsay actually works at her finance job and doesn't treat social media like a full-time career. She's attractive in that natural way where she doesn't need an hour of makeup to look good. And she just called me one of the good ones. Interesting. The plan takes shape. Sunday, I'm at the gym when I run into Lindsay again. She's on the treadmill next to mine. Didn't know you came to this gym, she says. Been a member for 3 years. You? I live like 2 blocks away, so it's convenient. We end up grabbing smoothies after and just talking. She asks about work and I ask about hers. It's easy conversation, the kind where you're not trying to impress anyone or prove anything. Just 2 people talking. Can I ask you something? She says eventually. Sure. Are you actually okay with this whole open relationship thing? Because you seem way too calm about your girlfriend seeing other guys. She made her choice. I'm just along for the ride at this point. That's not an answer. I take a long drink of my smoothie. Let's just say I'm curious to see how this plays out. She studies me for a second. You're going to make her regret this, aren't you? I'm not going to make her do anything. But I'm also not going to sit at home while she explores her options. Lindsay laughs. Good. She needs a wake-up call. You're supposed to be her best friend. I am her best friend, which is why I can see she's being an idiot, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. She leans back in her chair. You know what her problem is? She's always been the one in control in relationships. Guys fall all over themselves for her, and she's used to having that power. You're the first guy who hasn't put her on a pedestal and treated her like she's God's gift to men. It freaks her out that you're not intimidated by her. Interesting theory. It's not a theory, it's fact. Madison and Claire feed into it because they're the same way. They convinced Kayla she was missing out on something when really she already has exactly what she claims she wants. A guy who has his life together, treats her well, doesn't play games, and actually respects her as an equal instead of some prize to be won. So why didn't you talk her out of it? I tried. She didn't listen. Sometimes people need to learn lessons the hard way. We exchanged numbers before leaving. Just friendly, nothing weird about it. Over the next couple weeks, we end up texting pretty regularly. Mostly funny memes and complaints about work, nothing that crosses any lines. Kayla's barely home anyway, always out exploring her newfound freedom. She comes back from her dates all giddy and energized, like she's discovered the secret to life. Tells me about this guy and that guy, how exciting it is to feel wanted by multiple people, how she feels alive for the first time in years. I just nod along and go about my business. How's your exploring going? She asks one night, clearly fishing for information. Fine. That's it? Just fine? You're not going to tell me about anyone you've met? Not much to tell yet. I'm taking my time. She looks almost disappointed, like she wanted me to be struggling or jealous. Well, don't rush into anything. The whole point is to be thoughtful about it. Right. What she doesn't know is that Lindsay and I have been hanging out more. Nothing physical, just genuine friendship that's slowly turning into something else. We go to the gym together, grab food after, sometimes catch a movie. It's easy and comfortable and completely different from the performance art that dating has become for Kayla. About 6 weeks into this experiment, Lindsay and I are at her apartment watching a game when she just puts it out there. So are we going to talk about what this is? What is? This. Us. We're basically dating, Jake. Are we? She throws a pillow at me. You're impossible. Yes, we are. We hang out constantly, text all day, and I think about you way more than I should, given that you're technically my best friend's boyfriend. Technically, we're in an open relationship. Right. The open relationship that she demanded so she could sleep with Dr. Douchebag and whoever else catches her eye on Tinder. Lindsay moves closer. Meanwhile, you've been spending all your free time with me. Is that a problem? It's going to be when she finds out. She wanted open. Open means open. She wanted open so she could explore. Not so you could explore with her best friend. Does that bother you? Lindsay thinks about it. It should, but it doesn't. Honestly, I think she deserves to have this blow up in her face. She's taking the best relationship she's ever going to have for granted. Strong words from a best friend. True words from someone who's watched her sabotage good things her entire life, because she always thinks something better is waiting around the corner. That's when I kiss her. And she kisses me back. And just like that, we cross the line from friendship to something else. Entirely. The bomb drops. For the next 3 weeks, I'm living in this weird alternate reality. During the day, I'm going to work, coming home to an increasingly absent Kayla, and maintaining the appearance of everything being normal. But most nights I'm at Lindsay's place, or we're out somewhere, and things are getting serious fast. The thing about Lindsay is that she's the complete opposite of what I thought I wanted. Where Kayla needs constant validation and attention, Lindsay is secure in herself. Where Kayla turns everything into a production, Lindsay just exists. She doesn't need her life to be Instagram-worthy or seek approval from her friend group about every decision. She's just genuinely herself. We're watching movies at her place one Tuesday night when she brings it up. We need to tell Kayla. Tell her what? Don't play dumb. We need to tell her that we're together. We're not together. We're both exploring, remember? That's the whole point. Jake, come on. We're together. We both know it. This stopped being casual the minute we admitted we had real feelings for each other. And what do you think happens when we tell Kayla? Lindsay shrugs. She loses her mind, probably. Accuses me of betraying her. Accuses you of being cruel and calculated. Tries to make herself the victim, even though she's the one who opened this door. And you're okay with that? I'm okay with finally being honest instead of sneaking around. She wanted an open relationship so she could mess around guilt-free. Well, you took her up on it. That's not your fault, and it's not mine either. She's your best friend. She was my best friend. Before she got so wrapped up in herself and what she thinks she deserves that she couldn't see what she already had. before she decided that collecting attention from random guys was more valuable than being with someone who actually gives a damn about her. I pull Lindsay closer. You sure about this? I've never been more sure about anything. So we decide to just let it come out naturally. We're not going to hide anymore, but we're also not going to make some big announcement. If Kayla asks, we'll tell her. Until then, we're just living our lives. The universe has other plans, though. It's a Friday night, and I'm home alone doing absolutely nothing when Kayla bursts through the door, face red and mascara running. She's holding her phone like it's a weapon. Where the hell have you been? Right here, on the couch, where you can clearly see me. Don't play stupid with me, Jake. Where have you been for the last month? Various places. What's this about, Kayla? She shoves her phone in my face. It's a photo of me and Lindsay at a restaurant, clearly on a date based on the romantic lighting and the way we're sitting close together. Someone must have seen us and sent it to her. You want to explain what the hell this is? It's me having dinner. Kind of thought that was allowed in an open relationship. With Lindsay? Are you kidding me right now? You said I could see other people. Lindsay's other people. She's my best friend, Jake. That's completely different. I stand up and cross my arms. How is it different? Because she's not some random girl. She's someone I'm close to. This is a betrayal. Let me get this straight. You demanded an open relationship so you could sleep with your coworker. You've been going on dates with random guys from apps for 2 months. You come home at all hours telling me about how amazing it feels to be desired by multiple people. But somehow me seeing Lindsay is a betrayal? Yes, because she's my friend. She's supposed to be on my side. Maybe she is on your side. Maybe she sees that you're throwing away something good and she's giving you a wake-up call. Kayla's pacing now, full meltdown mode. How long has this been going on? Since you opened the relationship. How could you do this to me? I didn't do anything to you. I followed the rules that you established. Rule number 1, remember? We're both free to see other people. You've been exercising that freedom enthusiastically. I'm just doing the same. It's not the same and you know it. Why? Because you wanted me to sit at home being miserable while you lived out some fantasy? You wanted me to be jealous and pining for you while you collected validation from strangers? She stops pacing and glares at me. You did this on purpose. You knew exactly what buttons to push. Going after my best friend just to hurt me. I went after someone who actually appreciates me instead of treating me like a safety net. The fact that she's your best friend is just coincidence. Coincidence? Nothing about this is coincidence, Jake. You calculated this whole thing to make me look like the bad guy. You are the bad guy, Kayla. You wanted to have your cake and eat it too. You wanted to explore other options while keeping me as your backup plan. Well, congratulations. You got exactly what you asked for. An open relationship where we're both free to do whatever we want. This isn't what I wanted. Then maybe you should have thought through what opening the relationship actually meant before demanding it. She collapses on the couch, crying angry tears. I can't believe you'd betray me like this. I didn't betray you. I followed the exact rules you set up. You wanted open, you got open. Don't get mad at me because you didn't like how I played the game. This isn't a game. You're right. It's my life, and I'm done letting you treat it like your personal experiment in self-discovery. She looks up, mascara running down her face. What does that mean? It means I want you out. We had rule number 5, remember? If this tanks our relationship, you move out within 30 days. Well, it's tanked. Start packing. You can't be serious. Dead serious. You wanted to explore, you explored. You found out the grass isn't greener, it's just different grass. I found someone who actually values me. We're done. But I love you. You love having me as your safety net. There's a difference. Jake, please. We can close the relationship back up. Rule number 4. Either of us can call it off at any time. I'm calling it off. Let's go back to how things were. Nope. That ship sailed the minute you got mad about me seeing Lindsay instead of being happy that I found someone. You wanted the relationship open, so you could do whatever you want. You don't get to close it just because things aren't going your way. This is because of her, isn't it? She got in your head and turned you against me. This is because of you. You're the one who opened this door. You're the one who went on dates and came home bragging about it. You're the one who treated our relationship like it was disposable. Lindsay didn't do any of that. She was just there when you weren't. She's sobbing now, completely falling apart. I made a mistake. I see that now. Can't we just start over? No, we can't. Because even if I took you back, you'd eventually get the itch again. You'd start feeling trapped or bored or whatever it was that made you want to open things up in the first place. This is who you are, Kayla. Always looking for the next best thing instead of appreciating what you have. The aftermath gets messy. She spends the next week trying everything. Crying, yelling, begging, bargaining, threatening. Lindsay gets hit even harder. Madison and Claire are blowing up her phone, calling her a traitor and a terrible friend. The whole friend group splits down the middle, with most of them siding with Kayla, because obviously the girl who demanded an open relationship is the real victim here. Kayla moves out after 2 weeks instead of the 30 days I gave her. Can't stand being in the same space as me, apparently. Fine by me. I help her pack in complete silence and watch her drive away with mixed feelings. Part of me feels bad because we did have good times, but mostly I just feel relieved. Lindsay comes over that night with takeout, and we just exist together. No drama, no games, just two people who actually like each other. She's telling everyone you manipulated the whole thing, Lindsay says while we're eating. Says you were probably seeing me the whole time and made up the open relationship thing just to have an excuse. Let her tell whatever story makes her feel better. Madison sent me this long essay about how I stabbed Kayla in the back and betrayed our friendship. Apparently, I'm the worst person alive for getting involved with you. You could always reach out to her. Try to explain your side. Lindsay shakes her head. I already tried. She doesn't want to hear it. In her mind, Kayla's the victim, and we're the villains. Facts don't matter when feelings are involved. Does it bother you? Losing your friend group? Losing fake friends who only liked me when I went along with their narrative? Not really. The people who matter stuck around. A month later, I'm at the grocery store when I run into Kayla. She looks different, smaller somehow. The confidence she had when she demanded the open relationship is completely gone. Hey, I respond. Awkward silence while we both pretend to be very interested in the pasta selection. How have you been? She asks. Good. You? I'm okay. Staying with my sister while I look for my own place. More silence. I saw you and Lindsay on Instagram. You guys look happy. We are. I don't suppose there's any chance. She trails off. No, Kayla, there's not. She nods like she expected that answer. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. I know that doesn't change anything, but I am sorry. You were right about everything. I took you for granted and assumed you'd always be there no matter what I did. I thought I wanted freedom and options, but all I really wanted was for you to fight harder for me. That's not love. That's manipulation. I know that now. Too late, but I know it. She starts to walk away, then stops. Lindsay's lucky. I hope she knows that. She does. And I'm lucky too. I watch her leave and feel absolutely nothing. No anger, no sadness, no regret. Just nothing. She made her choice and has to live with the consequences. Meanwhile, I'm with someone who actually appreciates me, instead of treating me like a backup plan. The final confrontation. Things stay quiet for about 2 months. Lindsay and I are doing great, living our lives, and pretty much forgetting Kayla exists. Then we get invited to our mutual friend Brandon's birthday party. We debate whether to go since we know Kayla will be there, but Brandon's a good guy, and we're not going to let her ruin our social life. We show up fashionably late and immediately see her across the room talking to some guy who's clearly putting in work. She spots us, and her face goes through about 5 different emotions before settling on determined. She marches over, drink in hand. We need to talk. No, we don't, I say calmly. Yes, we do. Both of you. Outside. Lindsay grabs my hand. Whatever you need to say, you can say it right here. People are starting to notice the tension. Kayla's face is getting red. You two ambushed me. You coordinated this whole thing to make me look stupid, and you succeeded. Happy now? Nobody made you look stupid, Kayla. You did that yourself, Lindsay says evenly. Oh, please. You were supposed to be my friend. You were supposed to have my back. Instead, you went behind my back and slept with my boyfriend. Your boyfriend who you gave permission to see other people, I remind her. That's not the point. That's exactly the point. You opened the door and got mad when we walked through it. She's practically shaking with rage now. You know what you two are? You're selfish. You took something that was supposed to be about growth and exploration and turned it into some twisted revenge plot. There was no revenge plot, Lindsay says. Jake and I connected naturally because we actually have things in common and respect each other. The fact that it happened during your open relationship experiment is just timing. You expect me to believe that? Honestly, I don't care what you believe. You've been telling everyone your version where you're the victim and we're the villains. Fine, be the victim. But we know the truth, and so does everyone who actually pays attention. Which is what? That I deserve this? That you made a choice and it didn't work out the way you wanted, I say. You thought opening the relationship would give you power and options and make you feel alive? Instead, it showed you that the grass isn't actually greener anywhere else. That's not our fault. Madison appears out of nowhere like she was waiting in the wings. Leave her alone. Haven't you heard her enough? Oh, good. The backup has arrived, Lindsay mutters. You're both disgusting, Madison spits. Breaking girl code and acting like you're the good guys in this situation. There is no girl code in an open relationship, I say. That's kind of the whole point. You manipulated this whole thing from the start. You knew Lindsay had a crush on you, and you used that to hurt Kayla. Lindsay laughs. Wow. The mental gymnastics you're doing to make this make sense must be exhausting. We all know what really happened. Kayla wanted to grow as a person, and you punished her for it. Actually, a voice says from behind us, Kayla wanted to sleep with Dr. Patterson and figured opening the relationship was the least messy way to do it. We turn, and it's Claire, the one friend who's been conspicuously quiet during all the drama. She looks tired. Claire, what are you doing? Madison hisses. I'm tired of pretending. We all know Kayla spent weeks talking about how hot Dr. Patterson was and how she wished she could make a move without it being cheating. Madison, you're the one who sent her those articles about open relationships and told her it was the perfect solution. You helped create this mess. Madison's face goes red. That's not fair. Yes, it is. You and Kayla spent months hyping each other up about how you both deserve to explore your options and how your boyfriends should be secure enough to handle it. Then, when it actually happened and didn't work out like some romance novel, suddenly it's everyone else's fault. Whose side are you on? Kayla demands. I'm on the side of reality. You made a choice. It backfired. That happens sometimes. But blaming Jake and Lindsay for taking you at your word is ridiculous. The party has basically stopped at this point. Everyone's watching this play out like it's reality TV. Kayla looks around at all the faces staring at her and seems to deflate. I just wanted to feel desired. Is that so wrong? No, Lindsay says quietly. But you had someone who desired you, and you threw it away because you wanted to feel desired by everyone. There's a difference. And now you're with him instead. Yeah, I am. And I'm sorry that hurts you, but I'm not sorry about being with him. He's exactly what I've been looking for, and I'm not going to apologize for that. Kayla looks at me one last time. Were we ever real? Or was I always just someone to pass the time until something better came along? We were real. Until you decided we weren't anymore. Everything after that is just consequences. She starts crying and Madison leads her away, shooting us death glares over her shoulder. Claire stays behind. For what it's worth, I'm happy for you guys. You make sense together. Thanks, Lindsay says. And I'm sorry about the friend group drama. Not all of us think you're monsters. Brandon comes over after they leave. Well, that was intense. You guys okay? We're good, I say. Sorry for the scene at your party. Are you kidding? That was the most entertainment this friend group's had in months. My only regret is not charging admission. We laugh and the party goes back to normal. Lindsay and I stay for another hour, then head out, walking to the car holding hands. That was exhausting, she says. Yeah, worth it though. She needed to hear all that. You think it'll actually sink in? Probably not. But at least we said our piece. Where things stand. Now it's been 8 months since the breakup and 6 months since that party. Kayla's apparently dating some yoga instructor she met on an app. Good for her. Madison and the core friend group still hate us and have made it their mission to badmouth us whenever possible. Also fine. Claire kept in touch and actually apologized for not speaking up sooner. Said she felt guilty about watching the whole thing spiral out of control and not saying anything. We grab coffee sometimes and she's become good friends with both of us outside the toxic dynamics of that group. As for me and Lindsay, we're solid. Actually solid. Not the fake solid that Kayla and I had, where we were just going through the motions. Lindsay moved into my place a few months ago, and it's been effortless. She pays her share without me asking, respects my space, and doesn't treat our relationship like some social media performance art piece. She still gets nasty messages sometimes from Madison's burner accounts. Screenshots of our posts with comments about how we're relationship goals, but built on betrayal. We just laugh about it now. Let them tell whatever story they need to feel better about their own choices. The funny part is that Kayla's new boyfriend is apparently everything she claimed she didn't want. The guy is flighty, can't hold down a job, and treats their relationship like it's casual even though she's pushing for commitment. Exactly what she was trying to avoid when she demanded the open relationship with me. The irony is not lost on anyone. I run into her occasionally around town. We do the awkward small talk thing, both pretend we're doing amazing, and go our separate ways. The anger's gone from her now, replaced with this sad acceptance that she made a massive mistake and has to live with it. Last week, Lindsay and I were grocery shopping and saw her in the frozen food aisle. She actually smiled and waved. We waved back. Later, Lindsay asked if I ever think about how things could have been different. Not really, I told her. If Kayla hadn't blown things up, we wouldn't be together. Everything worked out exactly how it was supposed to. You don't think she has a point, though? About us maybe moving too fast because we were both hurt? Are you hurt? No, I'm happy. Me too. So who cares what she thinks or what Madison's saying on Finsta? She kissed me right there in the produce section. You're right. I love you. Love you too. Some relationships end because people grow apart. Some end because someone cheats or lies or does something unforgivable. And some end because one person demands an open relationship to sleep with their coworker and gets mad when their partner actually takes them up on it, instead of sitting at home being miserable. Kayla wanted freedom and exploration. She got it, just not the way she planned. I wanted someone who actually appreciated me instead of treating me like a backup plan. I got that too. Sometimes the trash takes itself out and life works out better than you could have planned. This was one of those times. The funniest part of this whole situation? The guy she wanted to explore with, Dr. Patterson? Turned out he was married. She found out about 3 weeks into their thing when his wife showed up at the dental office. Apparently, he's done this before with multiple hygienists and assistants. Kayla was just another in a long line of women he lied to about being separated and planning to get divorced. She called Lindsay crying about it, looking for sympathy. Lindsay listened for about 5 minutes before saying, "I'm sorry that happened, but also you kind of knew he was shady from the start and went for it anyway. Actions have consequences." They haven't spoken since. So here we are. Me with someone who values what we have instead of constantly looking for something better. Kayla with her yoga instructor who treats her the way she treated me. And a whole friend group that imploded because nobody wanted to admit that maybe, just maybe, demanding an open relationship and getting mad when your partner actually uses that freedom makes you the problem, not the victim. Reddit loves to talk about how the people who push for open relationships are usually the ones who end up regretting it the most. This is one of those stories. Kayla pushed for something she thought she wanted without considering the consequences. She got exactly what she asked for and hated it. As for me, I'm good. Better than good, actually. Got the girl, kept my house, and learned that sometimes the best revenge is just living well while other people self-destruct. Though I'm sure Madison and Claire still think I'm the villain. That's fine. They can keep that energy. I'll be over here with someone who actually appreciates having a partner who plans ahead, communicates clearly, and doesn't treat relationships like a buffet where you can sample everything before committing. The requests from Kayla for closure or friendship or whatever she's calling it these days stopped about 3 months ago. Last I heard, she was in therapy, trying to figure out why she sabotages good things. Again, good for her. Self-awareness is important, even if it comes too late to fix what you broke. Her mom reached out to me about a month after the party incident. Grace was always nice to me when Kayla and I were together. She sent this long text apologizing for her daughter's behavior and saying she raised her better than that. Apparently, Kayla told her family some edited version of events that made me look like the bad guy, but Grace wasn't buying it. "I know my daughter," the text said, "and I know when she's leaving out important details to make herself look better. Your name came up last Christmas, and she got defensive immediately. That tells me everything I need to know about who really messed up here." I appreciated that, but didn't respond. Getting involved with anyone from Kayla's life seemed like a bad idea even if they were on my side. Grace sent one more message saying she hoped I was happy and that Lindsay was lucky to have me, then left it alone. Class act, that woman. Shame her daughter didn't inherit more of her common sense. The dental office where Kayla works apparently became extremely awkward after the Dr. Patterson situation blew up. His wife made sure everyone knew what he'd been doing, which meant Kayla had to face daily reminders that she blew up her relationship for a married guy who was playing her from day one. She ended up switching to a different practice across town, just to escape the gossip and the judgmental looks from coworkers. Lindsay heard through the grapevine that Kayla's been trying to rebuild her reputation as someone who just made a mistake and learned from it. Going to therapy twice a week, posting inspirational quotes about growth and self-love, doing the whole redemption arc on social media. The yoga instructor boyfriend seems patient with her baggage, which is more than most guys would be willing to deal with. Guys, we are so close to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come true.